Hello and welcome to today's message. My name is Ryland. I am a musician, singer, songwriter, but I'm also very much stepping into the role of intuitive guide. Yes, hello. I have been making these messages now for the last number of days that have just been coming in one after the other. Today's was a bit of a challenge. I'm not going to lie, to sit into and to read the energy of, but I think I've got it coming in, so we're gonna start. What I pulled for the center of this spread I have in front of me here is light, the sun card traditionally in tarot. So this to me is you, consciously, right now, the most positive card in the deck, pure light. On either side of light, I received choose wisely and rejoice in celebration. And on the bottom of the deck for this part of the pull, I got sacral chakra. So this, to me, this row here in front of me is you consciously right now in the present. This is your conscious reality. When you are awake, when you are moving through life, this is who you are and what you are dealing with. With choose wisely and rejoice in celebration on either side of light, I see these are sort of the two sides of your daily rigmarole, if you will, in your mind, your mental choice. There's a situation in your life that is calling for you to make a decision, and that you may feel a lot of pressure to make a choice in and to make the best choice, the wise choice within. But on the other side, I think you feel or know that there's reason to celebrate. There's something you've triumphed over, there's something you have overcome in the last, could be a long time. I'm getting years, last couple of years, and I think there's the ending of a cycle maybe that you are triumphing over, and it's cause for celebration. It's calling you to celebrate, and you're ready to celebrate. And this is where, one foot is in this door here in your daily life, where you're like, yeah, celebrate, let's have some fun, enjoying your time with friends and family, enjoying your time with loved ones. And when I say loved ones, it could also mean like loved hobbies, loved experiences, loved enjoyments, activities, especially with the sacral card there on the bottom of the deck. It has everything to do with pleasure and creativity and sensuality and the love of that. Then on the other side, you have a foot into a situation that's asking for you to make a decision. And I think this decision has a lot of weight attached to it. And I wanted to say either choice you make is going to have a good outcome regardless. It's just up to you to decide which choice that is, like what you want to experience. And I think this might be new for you. I think with the light card here, this is purity, this is just positivity, this is light. And I think maybe for the first time you might be experiencing the ability to choose. The ability to choose between two equally valuable options, spiritually speaking. Even if on the surface one looks harder than the other, I think they're equally valuable in what you'll be learning about yourself. It's sort of like a choose your own adventure book. But it's up to you to make that choice wisely. You can see he's sitting on the dock there with his hands out, receiving the answer, receiving his choice, and giving his choice as well. This is what you're contending with. Consciously. I'm about to sneeze. one sneeze. Okay, interesting. There might be something you're trying to rid yourself of, an irritation. I tend to get allergic to pollen really heavily in the spring and fall, so that could be something you relate to. Allergies are always a sign of us trying to rid ourselves of something or to protect ourselves against something, so that could be very resonant for you, very relevant for you. Yeah, this choose wisely. Okay, yeah, you're trying to leave a situation. You're trying to close out a situation, a cycle, but it's a choice, like it's a crossroads. It's two very, maybe not just two, multiple. There are so many choices, or I'm getting two though, like two very distinct kind of choices, and maybe you cycle through these choices and feel that each one could be right in its own way, depending on the context of what you're feeling and how you're sort of vibrating. Ooh, I just got an interesting insight though. It could be that the reason this card's coming out with choose wisely is because you're not quite meant to choose yet. You're not quite meant to make a firm choice quite yet, because this cycling of, this is traditionally Seven of Cups, which means it's like multiple choices, not sure which way to go. There's just so many choices, it's overwhelming. It could be that what's happening is you're cycling through the choices and you're like, oh, this choice feels right, this choice feels right, no wait, this choice feels right, and you're feeling like each choice could be right in its own context. Like sometimes multiple choices feel right within, a bird just flew by, within the span of a day. But I think maybe what's happening is you could be just integrating all of these different choices into one thing, if that makes sense. It's like we go through these spiritual upgrades sometimes, right? And sometimes we go through different feeling states to integrate and to embody certain energies so they can be processed. And this could be what's happening to you right now. It's not that these feeling states are the full truth of who you are. It could be that they're coming through your vessel to be integrated and that they feel right in the moment, but that they're meant to just be witnessed and let go of in this sort of cycle of like, seeing like a spiral going up. You're ascending right now, and these states are kind of coming quickly one after the other to process. This is super interesting. It's getting really esoteric and ethereal, but it's like you're processing like multiple timelines, almost is what I'm getting. Like you're processing multiple timelines through your vessel right now as they're integrating into one thing, and that one thing has not quite revealed itself yet. So I think what you're being asked to do right now on the conscious level is spend more time in your creativity and in your celebration energy, just as things are, and allowing yourself to experience these states not as the truth of the decision or choice you should make, but as information that's passing through you, and you will know very deeply in your heart what choice you are meant to make when these come together. And it could be that the coming together of them is within the choice, if that makes sense. Super interesting message. I hope that makes sense. Now, I want to move to the row above this, which to me is the higher spiritual realm you are experiencing at the moment. And I have a spider on my ankle. Interesting. Spiders are symbolic of creativity and weaving the web of Dharma. So that could be resonant. I see a hawk flying up in the air right now, over to my right. This row above is the spiritual. ethereal realm within sort of like the crown. It's in your astral space here. I have the cosmic egg here, the zebra, and the eagle. And on the bottom of the deck I have the rabbit. So what I get from this is that, so the cosmic egg is representative of the crown chakra, of the awakened crown chakra in general. This is spiritual connection. This is receiving downloaded information from spirit, from, you know, the quantum realm, information coming down from other realities. With zebra and eagle, I'm getting that these are your guides at this time. These are animal guides for you, and they are here to help you embody these parts of yourself spiritually. The zebra has to do with eccentricity, travel, creativity, and normally creativity in a way that's very loud and bold and bright. You know, this zebra has like these stripes. It's a very loud visually, very visually loud animal in the animal kingdom. It's very unique and very just very visually stimulating. And so also being related to the horse, you know, having that momentum, you know, they're very strong animals. They do a lot of, you know, running in this very heavy momentum, freedom, expansive. That's what I get from the zebra. And this guide is here to help you embody that part of yourself, right? This unapologetically creative side of you. And this part of you that is ready to rejoice, is ready to experience the flow of the sacral, the creativity. The zebra wants you to fully embody that, to fully let yourself be whimsical and weird and wild and be that person that some people might look at like, oh, they're wild, they're crazy. But a lot of people will look at and be like, they're a cool vibe, I like them. That's what zebra's asking you. And eagle here talks about power, strength, being thrown into a karmic cycle. But I don't get that you're being thrown into a karmic cycle. I get that you have been in a heavily karmic cycle. And I get that this eagle is just, it's been your guide. I think this eagle's been with you for a while. And that he's asking you to embrace, again, this. You are the light, you are the sun. And you are to take that light and sun and take it by the horns. Own life in that way, right? Grab the sun in your talons and carry it with you. Use and wield that light for the greatest beauty and creativity. Fly, soar, enjoy, right? These two are with you at your crown, and you can connect with them in meditation at the crown, but they are with you, and they are guiding you, and they are leading you. Follow that energy. Very, very expansive, very outward, expressive, masculine energy I'm getting. Regardless of gender. Be the light, be the traveler, the lone traveler I'm getting, interestingly, the lone traveler. Maybe some of you need to go travel on your own and experience other worlds, foreign lands, in a way that will expand you in your own energy. There's something about doing things alone here, flying on your own, and I think you're very ready to do this. You are a very strong lone warrior is what I'm getting. With rabbit on the bottom of the deck, I also get there's a fear here. There's a fear here of fully allowing yourself to experience the power of this cycle, the power of what it means to unleash these parts of you. We talked about this in yesterday's reading with the sacral. There's a fear, there's a repression, right? There's a fear that if you allow yourself to flow, if you allow yourself to do the things you enjoy, if you allow yourself to be creative, because there's a certain aspect of unknowingness to it, of how people will react or how your life will change, there can be fear that comes with it. And we can double down then on the details of our lives, what could go wrong, But Rabbit can also be an excellent problem solver. Rabbit can also be very sensitive to the subtle. And I think that's you. I think you're a sensitive little guy or gal. I just think Rabbit is here to... See, I'm getting quiet even as I'm talking about Rabbit. To check yourself to make sure you're not falling into fear for the sake of fear, or fear over things that only exist within your mind. To make sure that your sensitivity is not getting the best of you. That your sensitivity is helping you as a tool, it is giving you information, but it is not ruling you. Ooh. Don't let the emotions rule you. Use them as information to make conscious choices. So now, going from the conscious and the above realms, we're going to go to the below realms. The underworld, if you will. And this is very interesting, because the first card that came out was Foundation and Achievements. And the only reason I'm holding this card right now is I'm sitting here on this deck, and when I shuffled, this card fell down and right through the crack of the deck and fell underneath. And it's a deck that is surrounded by boards around the base, so you can only get in through this little door at the side. So I literally had to get down on my hands and knees with gloves and knee pads and crawl under the deck like a crawl space to go and retrieve this card, this Foundation and Achievements card. So there could be a part of you that has had to crawl through the depths of the darkness, of the underworld, of the unknown, of these scary, creepy, crawly places to claim your birthright, which is these foundations, these achievements, this physical harmony and success. There could be a part of you that's had to really fight for this, and maybe still is fighting for this, to hold this within you. But I have stand your ground in solitude here. This came out as a challenge when I asked. Going back to this choose wisely card in your conscious mind and your conscious routine, these are telling me that you've really had to stand your ground on something, and you've had to do it alone. You've had to really stand your ground and fight something and do it alone. But you've become so much stronger for it. I feel if you've been through a situation, I'm getting a karmic contract. If you've been through a situation like this, you are so much stronger for it. I think this used to be maybe something that intimidated you to stand on your own in this way. I think that standing your ground, standing up for yourself was something that felt wrong to you. It was something that felt scary, something that felt unsafe, something you never maybe thought you could do the way you have now shown yourself, though, through this cycle, that you can do and are doing actively. I think this has become you. I think, especially with it being in this like subconscious kind of underworld space, I think you have locked this in. I think you've locked in this standing your ground energy, and I think that was the point of this cycle, right? I think that this cycle was very challenging, and there may have been moments where you wondered, why am I even in this? What is this for? But it was to teach you how to truly stand up for yourself and to stand for what you value and to hold the frequency, to hold the reality you always knew, hold the vision you always knew you deserved. Good for you. And you did it massively on your own. You did it massively on your own. And are still doing it on your own. But you are comfortable with that now. That's not as hard as it used to be. It used to be such a burden to carry, and now it's become part of you, this resilience, this strength. Ooh. You've crawled across hell and back to claim your birthright, to claim this foundation for yourself. And you've achieved it. On the bottom of the deck was victory and success. And I take the bottom of the deck energies in this reading as like things you might not be seeing, things that are on underneath, right? You're not seeing how successful and victorious you already are and have been in this situation. And even though it feels like there's still these decisions to make, again, it's like you already made the decision by committing to your growth, by committing to completing this cycle with dignity, integrity, honesty. Even if it was messy, even if there were moments where you faltered, it's like you never faltered by giving up. Otherwise, you wouldn't be in this reading right now. Otherwise, you wouldn't be in this situation. You would not be this light right now. You would not be this light and this creativity, and these beings would not be around you if you hadn't stuck the course, like stood the course and really made it to where you are. You have already won and triumphed and have become a master of something. You've become a master of resilience, of strength, and you've learned that empowerment has nothing to do with the external experience of your life. It has nothing to do with controlling the external, but everything to do with who you are, who you've become, what you've allowed yourself to embody, and the frequency you allow yourself to resonate at. That's you. Strength. I'm seeing the strength card in my mind's eye. I had a vision last night too of a flying lion, interestingly. I need to look that up and see what that means, but the lion is a symbol of strength, courage. This is you. Interestingly today too, my energy, it feels like subdued almost, like there is a weight, but the weight doesn't feel heavy, like something's crushing me down. It feels heavy as in like I'm ready to accept and rest in the knowing of completion. The knowing I've completed this. The knowing I can rest here. The knowing I can finally accept who I've become fully. No more striving. No more trying. The incense I'm burning, it's almost complete. So this tells me I think this reading is almost complete here. You've made it. And you should be so proud of yourself. I love you lots. Take care.